The action of not buying animals is a huge thing because not only are the animals being abused, but also the wildlife. If animals are not in the wild, life that could change the ecosystem. When the movie came out on Tiger King, I never really paid it no mind, even though it was on the top 10 list. But my friend actually told me what it was about, and then I decided to give it a try. It was a mini series, so when I finished it, I was really shocked on how that show made me research on my own if those tigers are still being used to be shown to people. Now, Tiger King is in jail for a different reason, but he still should not have been able to use those animals to be shown as like a zoo. I also do not support zoos because of that same reason. They are being captive when they should be out in the wildlife. Now, I'm sure everyone has went to a zoo when they were little. Even I went to a school field trip when I was in kindergarten. I really thought it was really cool. But now that I am much older and see how those animals are being treated, it makes me feel really bad and what I can do to stop that from happening. I'm not here to make anyone do something that they don't see the purpose on doing, but after my speech, I hope you'll agree with me that something needs to be done. And the easiest and most effective thing is by signing petitions or stop going to a local zoo. Today, I will persuade you to persuade people in not buying exotic animals. I hope to influence and make a difference to you. Some people may wonder why having exotic animals is not a big deal, but it actually is. One way is because you can't provide the right home for them. Wild animals have a complex behavioral, social, nutritional, and psychological needs most people cannot meet. The needs of wild animals that are being kept as pets. Wild animals need to be with members of their own species. Apes, monkeys are a special concern. Apes, including chimpanzees, gorillas, bonobos, orangutans, and gibbon, are intelligent, sensitive, and highly social animals. These attributes make apes popular as performers in commercial entertainment advertising programs and sometimes pets. When kept as pets, apes can unexpectedly cause severe injury when natural instincts trigger fear, aggression, or other triggers that are made by them. Wild animals can carry diseases dangerous or fatal to humans. Diseases include rabies, distemper, herpes viruses, salmonella, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and bubonic plague. Wild animals also can harbor parasites such as intestinal worms and protozoa. It also can be illegal in many states, county, and other cities that prohibit to have an exotic animal as a pet. What if an exotic pet was in your backyard? In some cases, exotic pets could be released by their owners. We could only imagine that this is a desperate attempt to rid the owners of any responsibility for the animal while maintaining the delusion that they'll be better off in the wild. The only problem is that the wild typically means a residential neighborhood or city in the US. Many of these animals starve to death. Others are unable to compete with the harsh outcomes that they are not used to and wind up being hit by cars or killed by other native species. Occasionally, these exotic pets survive their release and begin to establish themselves. They then become known as an invasive species. For example, in Florida, the Bernese python has been an invasive species since the 1980s. It is strongly believed that these snakes were originally kept as pets, but when they became too large to accommodate, they were released. This does not just pose a threat to the public, but also to the native species that are around the pythons. There are also over 1,000 reports of exotic pets escaping their homes at their private residence. Keep in mind, these are only the incidents that were reported. There are probably many more. Most owners know that reporting these escapes especially means that the proper licensing will almost always guarantee they take their pet, although the fault rests with the owners of the animal. But too many unnecessary deaths, both human and animals, have occurred because of this sort of negligence that the owner had as a responsibility. These animals are being sold as a pet trade. It is easy to obtain an exotic pet. More than 1,000 internet sites offer to sell, give care advice, and provide that rooms where buyers and sellers can haggle over a price. As you can see, there are things people are doing that will transform the way these animals live, regardless of pet trade being illegal or not. It is illegal to possess any wild animal who naturally lives in the state, unless you are transporting the animal to a licensed wildlife rehabilitator for care. It is illegal to provide rehabilitation to a sick, injured, or orphaned wild animal without proper permits and licenses. Even with the best of intentions, humans are not capable of providing the homes that these wild creatures need to live with their best lives, which is true of any exotic animal. It is particularly critical for at-risk species. They have evolved to live in natural wild habitats, and by keeping them as pets, you are placing them in an unfamiliar and potentially very stressful environment. If you think buying animals should not be allowed, please take action and help these animals to not being bought somewhere they should not be. They should be in the wildlife where they should have been many years ago. If you would like to help now, please go on https://www.zoocheck.com/help-exotics?doing. Thank you.